Okay, here's some help with number 5 in your packet for Chapter 11, Integrated 3 Math. So this one you're going to have to, well, you don't have to, but I would try to rid yourself of all these fractions by, I would multiply this whole thing through by 12, actually all three of them. If you multiply them through by 12, you'll have nice whole numbers like you had on all the other problems. So I already kind of started it. I wrote down the three equations, so I'll cover this up. I wrote down the three equations, and then I asked myself, well, I think we used to call it fraction busting. How can I get rid of these denominators? And I decided on 12, multiply everything by 12. So I'm kind of like distributing this 12 across here. So when I multiply the 12 by the first fraction, the 3 and the 12 will cancel out and leave a 4. So this one will be 4. So I did it like this. This one will be 4. 4 goes into 12 3 times, so that'll be 3. And that one's 6. Okay, so this is just me multiplying this one through by 12. 12 divided by 2 gives me the 6. Right, and then this one gives me the 4 and the 3. And remember that these big numbers are coming from, I have to also multiply the 12 all the way to the other side. I'm multiplying both sides of the equation by 12. So you can pause the video if you want to and look and try to figure out where this all came from. But basically I multiplied through by 12. And now it looks just like all the other problems that were in the first part of your packet. So now we're ready to solve a system of equations with three equations with 3 unknowns. So my favorite way to do it is I like to just pick the top 2 equations, and I go ahead and I look and see which one would be the easiest one to get rid of. I like z because I think I could just multiply the bottom one by -2. And that would help me eliminate z. So I think I'm just going to rewrite and then this one, if I multiply the bottom by -2, I would have -12x minus 8y. I'm going to use a little tape right here. I just decided to make my paper longer. Seemed smart at the time, but now I'm thinking maybe not. Okay, so multiplying through by -2, so -2 times that makes -6. And then -2 times 348, I don't really know what that is. 348. It's -696. Okay, so that's going to make the z's cancel out. So I'll go ahead and get my my equation with 2 unknowns in it right now. So I think this makes -8, and then this will make, is that -5? And then this will make -408. So I took the top 2 equations and I ended up with eliminating the z's, and I have an equation in x and y. So now I'm going to take these 2 equations and kind of do the same kind of deal, but I'm going to have to write them somewhere else because I got a mess on my paper. So thinking I'll just write them maybe I'll take them down over here. So I can, let's see, I'm going to multiply this top one by 4 and the bottom one by -3. So I'm multiplying the top by 4, so 6 times 4 is 24. Now I better put a 4 here so I remember. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 4 is 12. That's a z. And 348 times 4 is 1392. I'm going to multiply this one by negative 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 3, 12. This is z. And then negative 3 times 300, I think should be negative 900. Okay, so I'm doing that. Let's find out what 1392 minus. So I got 492 negative 2 hopefully I haven't made any mistakes yet. So now I've got these. Here's one equation in 2 with 2 unknowns, and I got this other equation in 2 unknowns. So I think I'm going to take this one and just write it right underneath. Or no, maybe I'm going to take this one and write it right underneath here. Okay, so I use tape. So that's a little better. So now I have these 2 equations and 2 unknowns right here. So it's a system of equations, 2 equations, 2 unknowns. Is there anything easy I can do here to solve? I'm thinking I feel like I just want to multiply the top one by 5. How about negative 5? And the bottom one by 2. Okay, so I'm just going to multiply the top one by negative 5. So 15 times 5 I think is 75. So this is going to be negative 75x plus 10y. 5 times 492, but it's negative. That's where I always make mistakes, is on the signs. And then this will be, wow. Got some big numbers here. I think I've done this problem before. I did do this problem. I did this problem in class. And it does have some pretty big numbers. I'm using my calculator. And then, who knows if 91 goes into this number? I'm just going to hope. It does. So, hey, how did it turn into x? Oh, I guess they were x's. Okay. X equals 36. So I have x's, y's, and z's. I found x. I'm going to check that before I move on. X is 36. So now what's left is to find y and z. So I would use, maybe this equation looks okay. I can just use this one. So 36 times 8. And I got negative 120. So y, let's see, divided by, I think y is 24. So let's check that. Okay, y is 24. And then z, I should be able to plug this in somewhere and find z. I feel like maybe this one up here isn't too bad. So I know x is 36, so I can go. And I know y is 24. So, oh boy, that's not, okay, so 36 times 3 is 108. 144. No, positive 48. So I think z looks like it's going to be 12. So let's check that one. Yeah, z is 12. So then you can write it as, we found x, we found y, we found z. So we can write it as 36, comma, 24, comma, 12. That's x, y, and z.